We are surrounded by a world of fascinating people who all share the same thing in common. And I have the pleasure of sharing their stories. I'm Wanda Ryan, and welcome to my show.
Search inside your heart to see where it takes you. Living a facade, no, it ain't what is real. Welcome, everybody. I'm Wanda Ryan on That Wanda Ryan Show, and we have a very special show. We have two amazing and extraordinary people that I have the pleasure to introduce you to, and it is Dena and Jimi Miller. Thank you both for joining us on our show.
Thank you, Wanda.
Our pleasure.
Yes.
Correct.
And how has your summer been?
Our summer has been lovely. We've been busy performing, and we just got back from vacation. So that was really nice and very well, most needed.
It was a lot of fun.
It
was really a good time.
Fantastic. Well, I'm glad to hear that because we all need to recharge ourselves and get back into the swing of things.
How are things in beautiful Toronto?
Beautiful Toronto has been extremely busy. 3 festivals and concerts and events. I'm going to start with amazing Dena, lovely Dena.
Oh,
and
thank you.
she has written this extraordinary song called Mysterious Origin.
Yes.
And when I heard this song, my brain took me back to the James Bond movies.
Yes.
There was just so many journeys that you were able to take us on. I noticed that it was recorded in 2013. Why do you feel that you want to release it now?
Good question.
That is a good question. Jimi and I have been through so much in our musical life together, and we wrote the song back in 2013. I wrote the original lyrics. I presented them to Jimi, and he and our producer, Danny Page, where we recorded, all 3 of us kind of tweaked the lyrics a little bit to make them more lyrical, shall I say, rather than poetic. I sometimes hear music in my head, and when I do hear music in my head, when I write, or I'm thinking about something that I want to create, the way I am able to get it out is that I will hum it into my phone and save it in a file, and then that way I can share it with Jimi and with Danny to let them know an idea of how I wanted it to sound. So that's kind of where I went with Mysterious Origin, and it just really unfolded from there.
Right.
And Wanda, I have to say, Dena, when she wrote this, I think it was the middle of the night. Was it the middle of the night when you did that?
Yeah, that's usually, I get my inspiration when I'm sleeping.
Right.
So she gets up and she writes this poem, as she says, or the story, Mysterious Origin. And then the next morning when we got up, she said, I wrote a song last night, or a poem. And I said, really?
That's really quite amazing.
I knew at that moment that this had potential to be a really good song, and that I wanted to get my buddy Danny involved. I've known Danny, my goodness, many, many years. He has a recording studio, and he's an amazing engineer, producer, and musician. And so we got together, and Mysterious Origin, the way that it is now, was the outcome, and we put many hours into that song. As a matter of fact, Dena did 33 vocal tracks.
My goodness. Well, I mean, and you can really hear it and you can feel it. I mean, I did mention previously that it sounded like it should be like in a James Bond movie, because there's so much adventure, and so much mystery and mystique, and there's this anticipation, and where is it going to go from here, and what's going to happen next. And so you can definitely hear the compassion in the song. You can hear the a whole lot of love that was put into it.
We actually finished the song in its entirety in the year of 2013, mixed and mastered it.
Right.
And we left it alone because we knew that it was such an amazing song and that it had so much impact to share with so many people, to touch so many people's lives, however they were able to feel it from the lyrics, that we knew that a video had to come from that.
Yeah.
And so it took us between then and now, because there's so many layers to that song, as you said, that you felt, that we really weren't sure. Wanted a real story behind it. And yet, the story that we have behind it now in the video is going to be interpreted in an interesting way, but yet doesn't necessarily mean that that's where it stops. Like, for example, if there was a forum, if people were on a forum page somewhere on the internet and were typing to one another that were fans of Mysterious Origin or Dena Miller, and they might be typing on this forum, I wonder what this song really means. Like, what did she mean by this? And what was that meaning? And why do you think that she came up with that lyric? But yet when they watch the video, they're going to even create in their own mind what they think the story means. And what you see in the video is not necessarily what was in my head when the video or when the song was written. And unless they listen to Wanda Ryan's podcast, they would not know. And they'll only know by listening to your podcast, because we're going to discuss that today.
Yes, exactly.
You can't find love with your mysterious origin. You can't find fame if you don't know who you are.
Part of this particular song was us being a blended family. There seems to be so many blended families now in the United States and Canada and the UK, all over the world, really. And sometimes you don't really know how to deal with your stepchildren because they're not your blood.
Yes.
And actually, Dena had a very good relationship with all of our children, and I like to think that I did too. But honestly, that's sort of where the song came from.
And that was my next question to Dena, was if she could take us on the journey through the process of writing a song.
Okay. So, as Jimmy said, we were a blended family, and I had 3 children and Jimmy had 1 child. I think there's something about being a parent of more than 1 child versus being a parent of 1 child when you raise your children. When you are a parent to more than 1, it's not really that you pick favorites or you favor one over the other, but you just kind of know how to manage each child's behavior in a different way. And because you have other children, more than 1, it kind of shapes you as a parent also to learn the dynamic, shall I say, of childhood behavior. When you have 1 child, you don't have anything to compare that to other than that 1 child. And if you have a child that's a pretty good child, or a child that's well behaved, or a great child, then, you know, whenever there's an issue that is normal growing up or normal adolescence or a normal stage in the childhood process, you don't really have anything to compare it to. So that's kind of like how the song was inspired, because at the time that I wrote it in 2013, my stepson was, out of the 4, he was the second to the youngest. We had a great relationship, And he also had a great relationship with his father. But because we're a blended family and there was so much going on with the dynamic of his biological mother and his dad, he wanted to just please everyone. Honestly, that's really what children want to do anyhow. They want to please their parents regardless.
Yes.
However, but he would share with me, and I know the reason for that was because even though he wanted to please me, I wasn't his biological mother. So if he told me something and I wasn't happy with what he had to say, he figured that I would probably get over it.
Right.
It was kind of different with my children because I was their biological mother.
Yes.
But he didn't want to necessarily reveal certain things about teenage angst that he was dealing with or questions that he might have to his father because he didn't want his father to think badly of him.
Right. I think that this is really good information and educational on so many levels to us as grown-ups, understanding our children and or us grown-ups trying to realize how our parents had to deal with us, just the generations. And I think a very good conversation and a good dialogue for new parents and for blended families, because there are so many of them now.
Yes.
Maybe have some compassion or try to understand the challenges and maybe not feel like they're alone, because you and Jimmy are here as a perfect example of where this mysterious origin has come from, this song that
Right.
you created together.
So he was kind of like my mysterious origin, my stepson, in the
Right.
sense that even though he was telling me things that he wanted me to know, I could tell, because I was a mother to more than one child, if he was truly being honest with me or just telling me the things that he thought that I wanted to hear.
Right.
But it was easier to tell me what he thought I wanted to hear than to tell his father, of whom he did not want to disappoint at all.
Of course.
Whereas, again, not that he wanted to disappoint me, but if he did, he figured I would get over it. And because he knew that I was a loving, motherly figure to him, I would get over it.
Right.
That's kind of how things were back then. So the whole idea of this song came from the fact that I knew, because I had 3 other children, and I knew how children are and how they kind of play their parents.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. That is just part of growing up. No matter how wonderful a child may be, they always do that with their parents because that is just a part of growing up. So the
Yeah.
whole idea of this song came from the fact that my whole insides, when I found out that he was being untruthful to me about certain things, was like the first lyrics of the song.
Wow.
What the hell were you just thinking?
Right.
Why do you tell me what you think I should hear?
Mm. It really truly is. That is so amazing. Songwriting at its very best.
Thank you.
And so thank you for sharing that. I think that's really what music is all about. It's the unspoken word. Sometimes when you can't actually have a communication with somebody, you can, artistry comes in play and you're able to put it into lyrics. I do remember with my stepmom, I couldn't tell her what I really wanted to say to her, but I played a song and I said, "This is how I feel."
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
with Mysterious Origin, it sort of gives me it brings me back to that time. And it was very powerful. So I want to congratulate you and also obviously both of you for this really extraordinary project that you work so hard on, and for the beautiful hearts that you both have. And I'm really looking forward to more. Looking forward to helping to release this new single, which will be next week.
Yes.
We'll definitely keep everybody posted. And Jimmy, I just wanted to ask you how you feel about the release of this song and the meaning behind it.
I'm really excited about the release of this, and I'm really looking forward. We're all on the same page. We've talked to everybody about it, all of the children, and let them know that we were doing this, and they're excited about it too. They know that that Dena and I have put our hearts and souls into this song, Mysterious Origin.
Yes.
So I'm very excited about it, and I hope that people do get a good meeting and a good vibe from the song. As Dena mentioned earlier, this could apply to relationships between boyfriend and girlfriend, significant others, people who are married, just so many relationships.
Absolutely, I agree entirely. And I'm really excited to be on this ride with you guys because it is something really mysteriously different. Who knows where it can go from here. I do know that you will be changing. You've already changed one person, which is me. And
oh, that's very kind.
Yes.
And that's what music does. It affects people in so many different amazing ways. You planted the seed. You both have created this extraordinary birth, if you will. Mm-hmm. And where it can go, we can take it as far as we'd like it to. But I love the part about the family and the love, and you created this song in your sleep. I mean, there's just so many really interesting points of reference that we all sort of played in today's show. And I just want to thank you both for being on the show today.
Well, thank you for having us, Wanda.
Our pleasure.
I hope you both will come back again and talk some more.
And another thing I wanted to mention too is I hope that people have an opportunity to check out Dandelions of Courage. I think that's just an amazing thing that you have put together. Also, the Slice of Canada too, which I think is just an amazing program, and something that I think that you're wonderful with what you're doing and the messages that you're portraying there.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
That comes from the heart.
I was going to tell you too, honestly, we should be thanking Anna Masterson, Gabriel Masterson, because Jimmy found her and interviewed her on his radio show that he was filling in for our hometown local radio station. He interviewed Anna and then became kind of so intrigued and inspired by her work, and found out she was married and what her husband's name was. And then he found out Adam was a musician, and it was here we are now. So thank you, Anna.
And to think that all of this came about because of something I wrote about Adam Masterson on my Facebook page about his release of Time Bomb and the excellent songs on there. And I'm really getting into this one song called Wild Wolves.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Have you seen the video?
I have.
It's amazing.
Unbelievable. Just going to say again, really appreciate you both being on the show today. And I'm looking forward to the new singles. Very exciting.
Thank you.
So Mysterious Origins coming soon.
Yes.
Search inside your heart to see where it takes you. Living a facade No, it ain't what is real. Open up your mind and let in truth's beauty. This is what you need. What the hell were you just thinking? Why do you tell me what you think I should hear? I just hate how you continually do that. Our love is not what it seems to appear. Search inside your heart to see where it takes you. Living on the side, no, it ain't what is real. Open up your mind and let in truth's beauty. This is what you need to know how to feel. This is what you need to know how to feel it. This is what you need. Do you feel it? This is what you need to know how to feel it. This is what you need. Do you feel it? When you find your truth, we will start our beginning. Desperate to be loved, no, it just doesn't work. Take your time and learn how to love you. Then you will know your heart when it's out of the dark. You can't find love with your mysterious origin. You can't find faith if you don't know who you are. The key in life is just to be your